The invisible hand. In a world full of loud voices and bright victories, quiet kindness often went unseen. People noticed noise, not silence. Yet sometimes the gentlest touch, the one that asks for no praise, can move the biggest stones. This is the story of Theo Lennox, a boy whose greatest strength was one no one saw, not even him, until the invisible hand revealed itself. Theo Lennox was not a boy people remembered. He didn't win medals. He didn't start fights. He didn't shout to be heard. He simply held doors open. He refilled the teacher's pen jar. He returned pencils before anyone knew they were missing. In his small school in Alderbrook, Theo lived in the corners of attention. His brown hair was neat. His shoes were always muddy because he helped the groundskeeper before morning assembly. He smiled with his eyes, not his mouth. People liked him, but they forgot him. Like a lamppost on a street, always there, always useful, but unnoticed. Theo didn't mind. He liked being quiet. He liked helping without being seen. At home, silence ruled. His mother, June Lennox, was a nurse. She worked long night shifts. When she came home, she was tired and pale, like a flower trying to bloom in winter. His father, Julian Lennox, was an electrician. He was kind but spoke little. People said he carried shadows of an old war he never talked about. Theo learned early that love in his house was shown through actions, not words. You helped by not needing help. You cared by doing, not by saying. But even in silence, Theo noticed everything. He noticed when old Mr. Abbott on Maple Lane struggled with heavy bags. He noticed when his classmate Ruby forgot her lunch 2 days in a row. He noticed the stray dog limping behind the bakery every Tuesday. And quietly, Theo helped. Groceries appeared on Mr. Abbott's doorstep. A sandwich was slipped into Ruby's locker. A warm bowl of water was left for the dog. No one ever saw him. That was how he wanted it. Miss Clara Whitmore, his teacher, had taught for 12 years. She knew when a child was hiding pain. She also knew when a child carried something special. She noticed Theo, not because he spoke much, but because his eyes always scanned the room with care, not boredom. One day, during art class, she stopped beside him. "You always help Ruby pack her bag," she said softly. "Why?" Theo shrugged. "She forgets sometimes. And the janitor says someone polishes the doorknob every Friday." He thought it was a ghost, she smiled. Theo said nothing. His cheeks turned pink. "You don't have to stay invisible to be good," Miss Whitmore said gently. Theo wasn't sure. Maybe goodness was best unseen. That winter, the school announced a competition, Community Impact. How can one person change the world? Students formed teams. They made plans for big projects. Theo joined none. He didn't mind. He liked working alone. He chose something different. His topic was the power of invisible kindness. He didn't make fancy posters or slides. He didn't give big speeches. He just recorded small acts. He took photos of a repaired bike chain, of a watered plant outside the office, of a lost mitten returned to its owner. He never showed his face. Presentation day came. The classroom buzzed with big ideas, flashy videos, donation drives, clean-up projects. Theo was last. He stood quietly, holding his photos. "Kindness is quiet," he said softly. "You don't always see the hand that helps. But it is there. It makes a difference." The room fell silent, a silence that felt full. Then applause came. Miss Whitmore wiped her eyes. Theo didn't win first prize. But something changed. People noticed him. Not for noise, but for warmth. A week later, a letter came with a gold seal. It was from Alderbrook's mayor. Someone had shown them Theo's project. The town council was starting a silent strength youth program. They wanted Theo to lead it. Theo was shocked. "Me? Why me?" Miss Whitmore only smiled. "Because your kindness created ripples, even when you didn't see them." Months passed. Theo's work grew. He didn't make speeches. He created small things, coat drives, thank you notes for nurses, hand-drawn art for the elderly home. He found other quiet kids and invited them. They called themselves the Gentle Hands. Alderbrook began to change. People held doors for strangers. Kind notes were left on park benches. Someone painted a mural that said, "You don't have to be loud to leave a mark." Theo smiled when he saw it. One rainy morning, Theo found a lost child. He stayed with her until her mother came, crying with relief. She hugged Theo and whispered, "Thank you." Theo simply nodded and walked away. But inside, something shifted. Maybe being seen wasn't so bad. On his 15th birthday, Theo found a box outside his door. Inside were leather gloves, warm and strong. There was no note, just one stitched phrase, "For the hand that helps." Theo sat with the gloves, tears rolling down his cheeks. His mother saw but didn't ask. She brought him cake. They ate in silence, the good kind of silence. A year later, his father fell ill. The house grew heavier. Even kindness felt heavy. Theo stopped meeting with the Gentle Hands. The world felt unfair. Then something beautiful happened. Ruby, now a bright teenager, left a warm meal at Theo's door. Mr. Abbott brought books. Miss Whitmore mailed cards every week. One note said, "Even invisible hands need holding sometimes." Theo cried. Then he wore the gloves and went back out. Years passed. Theo grew taller, quieter, stronger. He studied social work. He opened a small center called the Invisible Hand. It was a place for children who felt unseen, a place where they could simply be. Theo didn't give long speeches. He gave space. He gave time. He gave kindness. One evening, he stood outside the center. The windows glowed with warmth and laughter. A mural on the wall showed dozens of colorful hands reaching for each other. Theo whispered, "I was never alone. People say heroes wear capes, but some wear silence. Some carry nothing but gentle hands. The world doesn't always see them, but it always feels them. So if your heart feels tired, if your voice feels small, remember Theo Lennox. Remember this. The hand that lifts others doesn't need to be seen. It only needs to reach out. Because even the quietest kindness echoes louder than the loudest pride. One day, someone will ask, 'Who helped you?' And the answer may be, 'I never saw them, but I felt them, like an invisible hand.'"